Research proposal is one of the main documents you have to upload while applying for PhD or postdoctoral position. A poor research proposal can be one of the reasons for rejections of your application. By the end of this video, you will know everything you need on how to write a perfect research proposal to get into a desired program with a scholarship. Tomorrow I will share with you some of the tips and tricks that I use to write my research proposals to get fully funded PhD scholarship in Hungary, Brunei and Turkey. Remember that with research proposal, you are selling your research idea to the university, to the committee or to the fund. Your research proposal should be convincing. You should convince the reader of several things. First of all, what exactly you are going to research. Why is it important to research exactly this topic? Is your topic unique? Is it something new you are bringing to the table? Is your research doable, taking into account the time, the finance, and other constraints that you have? When I'm reading your research proposal, as a reader, I should feel your confidence. You have to show to me, you have to prove to me that you know this topic, you know what you are talking about, you know what you are exactly want to do. In order to have this confidence, you have to do your homework. You have to research in advance a lot. Before we go to the tips and tricks part, let's talk about the main part of the research proposal. The first part, introduction or background. Here you are going to answer to two main questions: what and why. What are you going to research? First, you have to provide the broad view of the topic and introduce the reader to the topic. And then you have to narrow down the topic to the exact research you are going to do. Here you have to provide the research questions that you are going to answer within your research. After you provided the answer to what you are going to research, you have to show why are you going to research this topic. Why is it significant to write about this topic? Why they have to fund your specific research topic, not someone else? Is it unique? Do you bring something new? You have to justify your choice of this specific topic. When I was applying for PhD programs in different countries, in my research proposal, I was justifying my choice of the topic by saying that I come from that country, therefore I want to research on that. Please remember, this is not scientific argument. You can't research a country just because you come from there. Therefore, you have to be very, very precise, very clear on why is it important to research this topic. There are several ways on how you can justify your choice. For example, you can mention the research gap or literature gap that exists nowadays on this specific topic, and with your research you are going to fill this gap. Or you can say that existing literature is quite outdated and it's very important to somehow renew it with the research, and this is what I'm going to do. So think about what justifications you can provide, because it will depend a lot on your topic. Exactly all this is value added of your research. It's not interesting to do something that have already been done. You have to bring something new. Therefore, you have to read a lot, research a lot to understand what is a research gap, what you can bring new that is not in the literature yet. And then we are coming to the next part of our research proposal, literature review. In the literature review, you are going to answer to three questions: why, who, and what. Here you have to provide the theories, the knowledge that already exists on this topic that you are going to research. You have to mention the main theories on this topic. And here you have to present the literature gap or knowledge gap that exists. In my case, I was applying with a topic on Tajikistan. I was showing that there is a lack of research on Tajikistan in the English literature in general. So everything is provided in the Russian language or the Tajik language, local language, which is not accessible for the international community. Be aware that your research should be more analytical rather than descriptive. You can't describe all the theories in this world and not connect these theories to your actual topic. So please try to think how your topic is connected and is relevant, taking into account the existing literature. By the way, you can find my research proposals, which help me to get fully funded PhD scholarships in Hungary, Turkey, and Brunei, in the link mentioned in the description of this video. The next part is methodological part. This is, I would say, the most important part of the research proposal, I know some cases where the topic was not so attractive and appealing, but the students got the admission letter from the university because their research methods and methodological part was very interesting. Therefore, try to work a lot on this part of your research proposal. Here you are showing how are you going to answer to your research questions that you offered in the introduction part. Through the methodological part, you have to show that your research proposal is practical and it's doable. The main point of this part is methodological approach, whether it is quantitative or qualitative research methods or mixed methods, sampling who you are going to research and where they are, the data, what type of data you have, and how are you going to collect actually this data through the interviews, through focus groups, through the existing surveys. When you have this data, how are you going to analyze this data? Whether you are going to use regression models, I don't know, whether you are going to use thematic analysis or some kind of programming apps to analyze your data. At the same time, you have to justify why you use these exact research methods, not something else. How are you going to justify your choice? Again, literature will help you. There are already a lot of articles and books on methodology and research design. They already provided justification why you should use specific research methods while researching, for example, poverty, investment, or any other topics. Also, remember to show the limitations of your research proposal. For example, if you're going to research people with HIV and your research methods is qualitative and you are going to have an interview with these people, it will be very hard to find these people who will be willing to talk about their experience openly. So think about how are you going to overcome these research limits and show it in your research proposal. Fourth part is about plan and timeline. Here you have to provide your project plan. You can use a Gantt chart or an Excel to show how are you going to do this all research in these 3 years that you have for your PhD. You can write step by step what you are going to do every month or every year or every semester. Of course, your research plan will change a lot after you get into PhD, but here you have to at least provide preliminary steps you are going to take, taking into account your constraints such as time and finance. The next part is about conclusions and implications. I know it's very hard to provide the conclusions when you haven't even started your research. But what you can do here, you can write mostly about implications, how your research would benefit stakeholders, governments, or specific organizations when it is finished. For example, in my term, I'm researching poverty. When I was writing about the conclusion part, I said that my research will help policymakers to make better decisions on how to design and implement poverty reduction policies in Tajikistan, and it can be also used by the countries who have similar economic and political context as Tajikistan. You can also create a basis for future research. Here you can say that my research focus is mainly on qualitative research methods, but I understand that to get better picture and to get better understanding of this topic, quantitative research methods also will be needed. So in the future, someone will pick up it and continue research. The last part of the research proposal is reference list. You have to provide reference lists, especially when you are doing your literature review. You will have to go to the literature a lot and you have to cite and reference people and scientists a lot. Therefore, provide all these references in your reference list. Finally, we came to the tips and tricks part, talking about how long the research proposal should be. If there is no any requirements by the university or scholarship, you have to write from 2000 to 4000 words. But in most cases, the university or the scholarship will provide you with word limitations. Reach out to someone to give you feedback. It can be your professors, your friends who speak better English or know a little bit about this topic. When you are preparing your research proposal, maybe you can miss some points, maybe your research method is not applicable to this specific topic and you can't feel it. But when you give it to someone else and you will have this outside the view, you can improve it a lot. This was also my case. I provide my research proposal to one of my friends and I got very constructive feedback, and it helped me to improve my research proposal a lot, for which I am very thankful. Therefore, try to find someone to get feedback from. The next important part is title. Ideally, it should be 10 words. How you can find the perfect title for your research proposal? Of course, it can change during your PhD studies or postdoctoral position, but you have to think about the keywords that is associated with your research, and writing down the keywords and using these keywords to make your title. What I would recommend here, try to write your title in the end when you are done with your research proposal, because sometimes when you start the research proposal, it was one idea, but when you are going through the literature review and methodology part and stuff, you will have totally different topic. So therefore, try to finish your research proposal and then prepare the title. Use figures and tables to visualize your findings, your points. Can you imagine how many research proposals the committee members will read? They will be very tired from the text they will see every time. Therefore, if you can and if it is possible to show your ideas in some kind of figures or charts, please do it. It will be more appealing, it will look more attractive. At the same time, try to pay attention to formatting. It's very important because sometimes you open the text and it's like one big text. There is no spaces, there is no points, like the title is all one big text, and it's very hard for you to concentrate and understand and focus what is what. Therefore, try to use space, try to use bold when it is necessary, when there is titles, subtitles, underline, whatever that can help me as a reader to have better view. And the last thing is check your spelling and grammar mistakes. Unfortunately, it's not possible to write your research proposal in one day. I would love to if we could do it, but you have to try to take some time, at least 6 months, to write your research proposal. When you write it, try to read a lot and try to avoid any spelling and grammar mistakes. Again, you're giving it to your friend or professor will help you a lot to avoid these mistakes. And at the same time, you have to be consistent with formatting and the language. For example, if you are using American English throughout your research proposal, please stick to it. If you're using British English, then just British English through whole document. I wish you good luck with your research proposal and see you in my next videos.